I would suggest that anyone who wants to see the dark side of Dubai goes to watch the BBC documentary called Unaliving in Dubai. I've censored that word for obvious reasons. It talks about a trafficker called Charles Messingwa, locally known as Abby, who also has a British passport, unfortunately, is in London quite a lot, who is responsible for trafficking girls from Uganda and Nigeria and promises them work in supermarkets, legitimate jobs. And when they arrive, this typical story of snatching their passports, claiming that they have to work off a debt and forcing them into doing really degrading sex acts. Now, there's so much judgment out there around S workers and even S workers that are consenting, such as OnlyFans girls and girls that work in strip clubs. And personally, I think that they should be awarded all the same moral and legal rights that other women do. I don't believe in any judgment against any S worker, especially the girls that have been trafficked. And it's really worth mentioning that girls from impoverished countries like African countries or Eastern European countries that have come to the UAE looking for a better life or looking for work do not deserve your judgment. They deserve your empathy and your sympathy, because not only do they have limited options, but when they do limited options to make money in their own countries, but when they arrive somewhere like the UAE, they have all their rights taken away from them. And these girls in the documentary had gone to the police, and the police had said, "We don't care, you African people make your own problems." That's how little these women have value. So where do you expect them to turn? What rights do they have? What possible way can they improve their situation when they're being held hostage by men and forced to do degrading things? And then when they try to leave, they're also threatened that footage of them doing these degrading acts will be made public. And two of these girls, Kayla and Monica, apparently fell and were unalived in really mysterious circumstances in Dubai. And that's what the BBC documentary was about. It was really well presented and really tragic and heart wrenching. And at the end of the documentary, it also said that they had contacted the Dubai police to see what was being done, and they got no response. So there is no police investigation, and the fact that these women, unalived in really mysterious circumstances, both after trying to break free of the trafficking, and this man, Charles Messingwa, is out roaming around free to do this to as many people as he wanted. Why has he not been arrested in the UK? Why is he not being arrested in Dubai? Why are men that prey on women allowed to roam free and there's absolutely zero accountability taken against them? Now, I hold the UK responsible for this as well. It's not just a Dubai problem, it's a systemic problem of violence against women and girls, and it's unacceptable in every country. However, based on my experiences in the Middle East, it is perpetuated by culture, religion, tradition, whatever you want to call it. It's much easier to get away with in those parts of the world, because in other parts of the world, they don't even bother to investigate it. In the UK, we acknowledge that trafficking is unacceptable. But according to human rights organizations, the UAE is a